Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Best English Podcast. I'm Sophia, your host for today. It's a real pleasure to have you with me in this special masterclass. If this is your first time joining us, let me just say how happy I am that you're here. We create new English learning experiences like this one every single day, designed to help you improve your skills step by step and to help you find your voice and confidence in English. Today's session is more than just a lesson. It's a deep dive, an immersive practice that we will journey through together. This is your Speak English Fluently Masterclass. We're going to explore real, natural English, spoken at a comfortable pace, perfect for the B1 and B2 levels. This isn't about memorizing endless lists of vocabulary or rushing through complicated grammar rules. Instead, it's about understanding the heart of fluent communication. It's about practice that feels like a real, warm conversation with a friend. Have you ever found yourself in a conversation knowing the words you want to say, but they just don't come out smoothly? Perhaps you can understand almost everything you hear, but when it's your turn to speak, your answers are short. Maybe just one or two words. You know you have more to say, more ideas to share, but you feel stuck. This feeling is incredibly common for intermediate learners. You've worked so hard to build a foundation. You can introduce yourself, you can order a coffee, you can ask for directions, but now you're ready for more. You want to move beyond the basics. You dream of speaking smoothly, of expressing your thoughts and feelings clearly, and of feeling truly confident and relaxed when you talk to people in English. If that sounds like you, then you are in exactly the right place. That is precisely what we are going to work on today, together. We will build your fluency, not through speed, but through detail, not through complexity, but through connection. We will do it slowly, naturally, and with a lot of practice. So, find a comfortable spot, take a deep breath, and let's begin. Let's start with something we all experience every single day, the morning. It's a simple, universal topic, which makes it the perfect place to begin our practice. Imagine you're walking down the street and you bump into a neighbor, Liam. He smiles and asks a very common question, "How's your morning going?" Now, if you're thinking like a beginner, your instinct might be to give a very short, simple answer. You might say, "Good" or "Fine." And while those answers are grammatically correct, they don't really invite a conversation, do they? They're like a closed door. The conversation stops there. At the intermediate level, our goal is to open that door. Fluency is born from our ability to expand our answers, to add a little color and detail. So instead of just saying "good," let's try to expand it. Think about why your morning is good. What happened? Let's build a more natural response together. You could say, "It's going really well, thanks. I woke up a bit early today and had a nice cup of coffee, so I feel wide awake and ready for the day." Do you see the difference? This answer is still simple, but it flows beautifully. It has a beginning, "It's going really well," a middle that gives a reason, "I woke up early and had coffee," and an end that shares a feeling, "So I feel wide awake." It paints a small picture of your morning for Liam. It's friendly and open. Now, let's practice saying it together. We'll start slowly to get the rhythm of the words. I'll say it, and then you repeat it out loud. Try to feel the connection between the words. Ready? It's going really well, thanks. I woke up a bit early today and had a nice cup of coffee, so I feel wide awake and ready for the day. Fantastic. Now, let's try it again, but this time a little more smoothly, like you're really talking to someone. Connect the words into a natural flow. Let's go. It's going really well, thanks. I woke up a bit early today and had a nice cup of coffee, so I feel wide awake and ready for the day. Excellent work. It sounds so much more engaging than just good, doesn't it? Of course, not all mornings are perfect. So, let's imagine your morning was a little more chaotic. Instead of just saying not good or busy, which again can feel a little blunt, let's expand on that idea. You could explain why it wasn't so good. For example, you could say, "Oh, it's been a little busy, to be honest. I had to answer a few urgent emails first thing and then get ready quickly, so I feel a bit rushed." This answer is honest, but it's still polite and descriptive. It shares your experience. Let's practice this one together now. Slowly first. Repeat after me. It's been a little busy, to be honest. I had to answer a few urgent emails first thing, and then get ready quickly, so I feel a bit rushed. Wonderful. Now, let's try it again at a more conversational pace. Imagine you're sighing just a little as you say it. Ready? It's been a little busy, to be honest. I had to answer a few urgent emails first thing, and then get ready quickly, so I feel a bit rushed. Perfect. This is the very first skill we need to master on our journey to fluency. Expanding our sentences. You don't need advanced vocabulary or complex grammar to do this. You just need to add small, simple details. What did you do? How did you feel? Why? These little details are what make your English sound real and natural. Let's try another very common situation. Imagine a colleague at work, Maya, sees you by the coffee machine and asks, "What did you do yesterday?" A short, simple answer would be, "I studied." Again, it's correct, but it doesn't give Maya much to respond to. It doesn't sound very fluent. To sound more natural, you need to add a little more of the story. Think about your day yesterday as a mini story with a sequence of events. For instance, you could say, "Yesterday was quite productive. I studied English for about an hour in the morning. Then I went for a long walk in the park to relax and get some fresh air. Later in the evening, I cooked dinner with my family." This answer is fantastic because it uses simple connecting words like then and later to link the ideas together. It creates a flow. It tells a story. Now let's practice this together. Repeat after me, nice and slow. I studied English for about an hour in the morning. Then I went for a long walk in the park to relax. Later, I cooked dinner with my family. Great. Let's try it one more time, a little smoother, a little faster. Imagine you're really telling Maya about your day. I studied English for about an hour in the morning. Then I went for a long walk in the park to relax. Later, I cooked dinner with my family. Wonderful work. Now, it's your turn to practice this skill actively. I want you to take a moment and think about your own day yesterday. What did you really do? Try to form one long answer with at least 2 or 3 details. Don't worry about making it perfect. Just try to speak it out loud, to yourself. The act of forming the sentence and saying it is the most important part. Even if you make a mistake, it's okay. Remember, practice is always more important than perfection. This is how you begin to train your brain to stop translating and start thinking directly in English. Fluency isn't about knowing thousands of words. It's about learning to connect the simple ideas you already have into longer, more meaningful sentences. So go ahead, pause if you need to, and describe your yesterday out loud. Let's continue building on this skill with another very common, everyday situation. Imagine you are sitting in a cozy cafe. The smell of coffee is in the air. A friendly waiter comes to your table and asks, "What would you like to drink?" At the beginner level, you might just point at the menu and say, "Tea, please." It's direct and it works, but it can sound a little too short, almost like a command. As an intermediate learner, you can easily make your answer more natural, more polite, and more complete. You can do this by adding small details about your preference. For example, you could say, "I'd like a cup of green tea, please, with no sugar." Or perhaps you're in the mood for coffee. You could say, "I'll have a cappuccino, please, with extra milk if possible." Do you see how these answers are just a little longer? The phrase "I'd like" is a softer, more polite way of saying "I want," and adding details like "with no sugar" or "with extra milk" makes your order clear and your English sound more complete and confident. Let's practice these together. First, the tea order. Repeat after me slowly. "I'd like a cup of green tea, please, with no sugar." Great. Now let's say it again, a bit faster, with a friendly tone. "I'd like a cup of green tea, please, with no sugar." Excellent. Now let's practice the second sentence, the coffee order. Slowly first. "I'll have a cappuccino, please, with extra milk if possible." Very good. Notice how "I'll have" is another very common and natural way to order. Now, let's say it again at a natural speed. "I'll have a cappuccino, please, with extra milk if possible." Fantastic. Now, to make this practice even more effective, let's do a little role play. This helps your brain prepare for real-life situations. I will be the waiter, and you will be the customer. I am going to ask you what you would like to drink. Your job is to answer me out loud. You can use one of the sentences we just practiced, or you can create your own version for your favorite drink. Are you ready? Let's begin. "Hello, welcome. What would you like to drink?" Good. Let's do it one more time. Maybe this time you're ordering for a friend as well. Be creative. Ready? Chut. "Good afternoon. What can I get for you today?" Excellent. These small role-playing exercises are incredibly powerful. They build memory patterns in your brain. The more you practice saying these phrases out loud, the more natural and automatic they will feel when you're in a real cafe. You won't even have to think about it. Before we move on from this section, let's do a quick fluency drill to strengthen this skill of expansion. A drill is like a workout for your mouth and your brain. I will give you a simple one-word prompt, and your challenge is to expand it into a full, detailed sentence. I'll give you an example first, and then it will be your turn. Let's say the first prompt is breakfast. Instead of just thinking of a word like toast, you could build a sentence around it. You could say, "For breakfast this morning, I had some warm toast with butter and a cup of black tea. It was a simple but delicious way to start the day." See how much information is in that sentence? Let's try another one. The prompt is weather. You could look out your window and say, "The weather is very warm and sunny today, so I'm planning to go for a nice long walk in the park this afternoon." One more example. The prompt is English practice. You could say, "I try to practice my English every evening for at least 20 minutes because I know that it helps me improve my skills little by little." This is exactly the kind of focused practice that builds real fluency. You take a small, simple idea and you expand it with details, with feelings, and with reasons. Remember, the goal of fluency is not to speak fast. The goal is to speak smoothly, naturally, and with confidence, just like you're doing right now. So take a moment, take a deep breath, and feel proud of the progress you are already making. Keep practicing these expansions every single day, with every small conversation, and you will see a huge difference. Now, let's go a little deeper into conversations that happen all the time. One of the most common ways we connect with people is by sharing our thoughts and opinions. At the intermediate level, it's very important to not only answer questions, but to also explain what you think and why you think it. This skill makes you sound more interesting, more fluent, and much more confident. For example, imagine a friend asks you, "What do you think about learning English every day?" A very simple answer might be, "It's good." But again, that's a conversation stopper. It's a closed door. To sound fluent, you need to open that door by giving a reason or an explanation for your opinion. You could expand that simple answer into something much more thoughtful, like this. I think learning English every day is very helpful because it keeps the language fresh in my mind and it slowly gives me more confidence when I have to speak. This answer is so much better. It uses the phrase, "I think," to clearly state your opinion, and the magic word "because" to explain your reasoning. This is a powerful combination. Let's practice saying this sentence together. We'll go slowly at first. Repeat after me. I think learning English every day is very helpful because it keeps the language fresh in my mind and it gives me more confidence when I speak. Excellent. Now let's try it again, a bit more naturally, as if you're really sharing your belief with your friend. I think learning English every day is very helpful because it keeps the language fresh in my mind and gives me more confidence when I speak. That sounds fantastic. Let's try another question. Imagine someone asks you, "What do you think about learning English with podcasts like this one?" Instead of just, "It's effective," you could give a much more detailed opinion. You could use a different phrase to introduce your opinion, like, "I believe." For example, I believe learning English with podcasts is very effective. Because I can listen to natural speech, I can pause and practice repeating the phrases, and I can learn at my own speed whenever I have time. This is a wonderful answer. It gives 3 clear reasons, which shows you have really thought about the question. Let's practice this one. Repeat after me. I believe learning English with podcasts is very effective because I can listen to natural speech, practice repeating, and learn at my own speed. Great work. Now, let's say it again all together with a confident and positive tone. I believe learning English with podcasts is very effective because I can listen to natural speech, practice repeating, and learn at my own speed. Very, very good. Now it's time for you to practice. I want you to think of something you enjoy doing in your daily life. It could be anything at all. Maybe it's reading books, cooking dinner, walking your dog, listening to music, or watching movies. Choose one thing. Now, I want you to try and make a sentence expressing your opinion about it, and be sure to include a reason using the word because. For example, if you chose walking, you might say, I enjoy walking in the evenings because it helps me to relax and clear my mind after a long day at work. Now it's your turn. Think of one thing you enjoy and say your sentence out loud. Don't worry if it's not perfect. Just try to express your opinion and give a reason. Go ahead. Rah! Wonderful. This practice of giving opinions and adding reasons is a huge step in moving from short, simple answers to flowing, natural English. Let's move on to another very common daily life situation: making plans. People are always curious about what others are doing. They often ask about your plans for the weekend, for tomorrow, or for the evening. At the beginner level, you might feel a bit stuck and just say, "Nothing," or "I don't know." But at the intermediate level, you can expand your answer with details, even if your plans are not very exciting. For example, imagine your coworker, Ben, asks you on a Friday afternoon, "What are you doing this weekend?" Instead of "nothing," which might sound a bit lonely or unfriendly, you could say something like, "I don't have many big plans, but I might go shopping for some groceries on Saturday. On Sunday, I'd like to just relax and watch a new movie at home." This answer is honest, but it sounds much more complete and friendly. It uses phrases like "I might," which is great for talking about possibilities, and "I'd like to," which is a soft way to talk about desires. Let's practice this sentence together. Repeat after me. I don't have many big plans, but I might go shopping on Saturday. On Sunday, I'd like to watch a new movie at home. Great. Now let's try it again, a little faster, in a relaxed conversational tone. I don't have many big plans, but I might go shopping on Saturday. On Sunday, I'd like to watch a new movie at home. Perfect. Here's another possible answer, perhaps for a busier weekend. You could say, "This weekend, I'm planning to meet some friends for dinner on Saturday night, and I also need to finish some work from the office, so I'll probably stay pretty busy." This version uses "I'm planning to," which is perfect for more definite plans, and "I'll probably" for things that are likely to happen. Let's practice this one too. Slowly first. This weekend, I'm planning to meet some friends for dinner. And I also need to finish some work, so I'll probably stay busy. Very nice. Let's say it again, a little faster. This weekend, I'm planning to meet some friends for dinner. And I also need to finish some work, so I'll probably stay busy. Excellent. Now it's your turn. I want you to think about your own plans for the upcoming weekend. Even if you have no plans yet, you can invent some for this practice. Try to create 1 or 2 sentences using the phrases we practiced. I might, I'm planning to, or I'd like to. For example, you could say, I'm planning to clean my apartment on Saturday morning, or I might visit my grandparents in the afternoon, or I'd like to watch the football game on TV. Think of your sentence and say it out loud now. So, good job. Using these different phrases for future plans makes your English sound much more natural, flexible, and polite. Before we finish this section, let's do another quick fluency drill to reinforce these skills. I'll give you a short prompt, and your job is to expand it into a full sentence with details, just like we've been practicing. Ready? Prompt 1. Breakfast. You could say something like, "For breakfast, I usually just eat some cereal with milk, but on the weekend, I think I'll make some pancakes with honey." Prompt 2. Weather. You could say, "The weather is quite cool and cloudy today, so I decided I'll stay inside and read a book this afternoon." Prompt 3. English practice. You could say, I try to practice my English every morning for about 15 minutes because it really helps me start the day with focus and confidence. Do you see how each of these examples adds a small story or a reason? That is the secret to sounding fluent. It's about painting a picture with your words. Now, let's move on to introductions. This is another fundamental situation in daily life. At the beginner level, introductions are usually very short and direct. Hello, my name is Alex. I am from Spain. This is perfectly okay, of course. But at the intermediate level, you can add small details to make your introduction more memorable and conversational. For example, if someone asks, "Where are you from?" Instead of just naming your country, you could give a little more information. You could say, "I'm from Brazil, from a big city called São Paulo, and I've been living here for about 2 years now." This answer not only tells them where you are from, but it also gives them more information to ask follow-up questions about. They could ask about São Paulo or about your experience living here. Let's practice this one. Repeat after me. I'm from Brazil, from a city called São Paulo, and I've been living here for a few years now. Good. Now again, more smoothly. I'm from Brazil, from a city called São Paulo, and I've been living here for a few years now. Here's another example. I'm from the United States, originally from New York City, and I moved here just recently to study at the university. Again, this gives so much useful and interesting information. Let's practice it. Repeat after me. I'm from the United States, from New York City, and I moved here recently to study. Great. Adding small details like from a city called or I moved here recently too makes your English sound much more natural and informative. Now, let's consider the question, what do you do? A beginner might say, I am a student. But an intermediate learner can expand this to give a much clearer picture. You could say, I'm a student at the local university. I'm studying computer science, and I really enjoy learning about new technology. Or, if you're working, you could say, I work as a nurse in a hospital. I take care of patients in the emergency department, which can be very challenging but also very rewarding. Let's practice both of these introductions together. First, the student. Repeat after me. I'm a student at university. I'm studying computer science. And I really enjoy learning about technology. Again, more naturally. I'm a student at university. I'm studying computer science, and I really enjoy learning about technology. Now for the nurse. Repeat after me. I work as a nurse in a hospital, and I take care of patients in the emergency department. Again, smoothly. I work as a nurse in a hospital, and I take care of patients in the emergency department. Excellent. Now it is your turn for a bigger challenge. I want you to try to introduce yourself in a longer, more detailed way. Try to combine all the elements. Say your name, where you are from, what you do, and maybe add one thing you enjoy. For example, my name is Leo. I'm from Mexico City. I'm studying English because I want to travel the world, and in my free time, I enjoy watching movies in English. Take a moment to think about your own introduction and then say it out loud. Wonderful. This is exactly how you move from short, basic introductions to fluent, confident introductions that open the door to real conversations. Let's continue our journey by exploring another very common and enjoyable topic in daily life, hobbies and free time. When people are getting to know each other, they often ask, "What do you like to do in your free time?" If you are a beginner, you might give a one-word answer like reading or sports. This is correct, but again, it's a conversation stopper. It's a short, flat answer. At the intermediate level, our goal is to expand these answers to make them more interesting and personal. For example, instead of just saying, "I like reading," you can add details about what you read and why you enjoy it. You could say something like, "I really like reading novels in English, especially mystery stories, because they help me practice new vocabulary and they're also really fun to follow." This answer is so much more engaging. It tells the listener about your preferences' mystery stories and your motivation practice new vocabulary. Let's practice saying this sentence together. Slowly first. I like reading novels in English, especially mystery stories, because they help me practice new vocabulary, and they're fun to follow. Very good. Now, let's say it again, a little faster and with more enthusiasm. I like reading novels in English, especially mystery stories, because they help me practice new vocabulary and they're fun to follow. Excellent. Here's another example, this time about a different hobby. Someone might say, "In my free time, I enjoy cooking new recipes that I find online. I often invite my family over to taste what I make." This is a great answer because it uses the word often to describe frequency and adds a nice personal detail about cooking for family. Let's practice this one. Repeat after me. In my free time, I enjoy cooking new recipes. And I often invite my family to taste what I make. Great. Let's try it again, smoothly. In my free time, I enjoy cooking new recipes, and I often invite my family to taste what I make. Wonderful. Now, I want you to think about one of your own hobbies. What do you truly enjoy doing when you have some free time? Try to describe it with more detail. Use connecting words like especially, because, or often to make your sentence longer and more interesting. For instance, you could say, "I like playing football with my friends on weekends because it helps me stay active and it's a great way to have fun." Now it's your turn. Take a moment to think about one of your hobbies, add a detail or a reason, and then say your sentence out loud. Wow! Great work. To make this practice even more real, let's do another short role play. Imagine that I am your new friend, Olivia, and we are having a coffee together. I lean forward and ask you, "So, what do you like to do in your free time?" I want you to answer me out loud with a full sentence and some nice details. Are you ready? Let's begin. So, what do you like to do in your free time? Excellent answer. Let's try it one more time. I want to hear the enthusiasm in your voice. Ready? What do you like to do in your free time? Wonderful. You are truly practicing how to have a real-life conversation, and you are doing a fantastic job. Now, let's switch gears and talk about past experiences. At the intermediate level, you should feel comfortable talking about things that have already happened, using the past tense. People often ask questions that start with, "Have you ever?" For example, a very common question is, "Have you ever traveled to another country?" If your answer is yes, don't just stop there. Expand your answer by giving some details. Where did you go? When did you go? What did you do? For example, you could say, "Yes, I have. Last year, I went to Turkey with my family. We visited the beautiful city of Istanbul, which was amazing because of its rich culture and delicious food." This answer uses the simple past tense, I went, we visited, and provides specific, interesting details. Let's practice saying this together. Repeat after me, yes, I have. Last year, I went to Turkey with my family, and we visited Istanbul, which was amazing because of its culture and food. Ah, great. Let's say it again, naturally. R. Yes, I have. Last year, I went to Turkey with my family and we visited Istanbul, which was amazing because of its culture and food. Perfect. But what if your answer is no? You can still expand your answer and make it interesting. Instead of just saying no, you can talk about your future hopes. For example, no, I haven't traveled to another country yet, but I would really like to visit Spain one day because I absolutely love the language and the culture. This is a fantastic answer because it's honest, but it's also positive and forward-looking. It keeps the conversation going. Let's practice this one. Repeat after me. No, I haven't traveled to another country yet, but I would really like to visit Spain one day because I love the language and the culture. One more time, smoothly. No, I haven't traveled to another country yet, but I would really like to visit Spain one day because I love the language and the culture. Excellent! Now it's your turn again. I want you to think about one memorable past experience. It doesn't have to be a big trip. It could be a birthday celebration, a festival you attended, or just a really fun day you had with your friends. Try to describe it in 1 or 2 sentences. Remember to add details. Where did it happen? When did it happen? And why was it memorable? Say your description out loud now. Great! That is exactly the kind of practice that will make you a confident storyteller in English. Now that we've talked about the past, let's look to the future. At the intermediate level, you should be able to talk about your plans, goals, and hopes with some detail. For example, someone might ask what you are doing next year. You could say, next year, I'm planning to take an official English exam because I want to apply to study abroad. This is a clear, detailed sentence about a future goal. Let's practice it. Repeat with me. Next year, I'm planning to take an English exam because I want to study abroad. Again. Next year, I'm planning to take an English exam because I want to study abroad. Here is another, more immediate example about tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to meet my friend for lunch, and then I'll probably go shopping for groceries in the afternoon. This sentence uses both going to for a definite plan and I'll for a likely action. Let's practice. Repeat with me. Tomorrow I'm going to meet my friend for lunch, and then I'll go shopping for groceries. One more time. Tomorrow I'm going to meet my friend for lunch, and then I'll go shopping for groceries. Good. Let's try a fluency drill with future sentences. I will give you a word, and you try to make a full sentence about the future. Ready? The first word is holiday. You could say, on the next public holiday, I'm going to visit my grandparents in the countryside and just spend some quiet time with them. The second word is study. You could say, this month, I'm planning to study English for at least 30 minutes every evening so I can be really prepared for my test. The third word is exercise. You could say, tomorrow morning, I'm going to go to the gym to exercise, and I want to try running on the treadmill for 20 minutes. Very nice. These small drills train your brain to quickly and automatically think in English about different time frames. Now, let's practice a very common form of small talk, talking about the weather. This might seem like a very simple topic, but it's used constantly in English-speaking cultures to start conversations and be friendly. A beginner might just say, "It's hot," but an intermediate learner can add more detail and comparison to make it more conversational. For example, "It's really hot today, isn't it?" It feels much hotter than yesterday, and I think it will probably stay this way all week. This answer adds a comparison, hotter than yesterday, and a prediction, stay this way all week. Let's practice it. Repeat with me. It's really hot today. Much hotter than yesterday. And I think it will stay this way all week. Again, more naturally. It's really hot today, much hotter than yesterday, and I think it will stay this way all week. Here is another example for cold weather. It's quite cold this morning, and it looks like it might rain later, so I brought my umbrella just in case. This is a great sentence because it uses looks like it might for a possibility and the very useful phrase just in case. Repeat after me. It's quite cold this morning, and it looks like it might rain later, so I brought my umbrella just in case. One more time. It's quite cold this morning, and it looks like it might rain later, so I brought my umbrella just in case. Excellent. Now it's your turn. I want you to look outside your window right now. Or, if you're inside, just imagine the weather. What is it like today? Try to make one full sentence with details. Is it warmer or colder than yesterday? Do you think it will change later? Say your sentence out loud now. Cheese? So. Perfect. Adding these small details like much hotter than yesterday or just in case is what makes your English sound smooth, natural, and fluent. Before we finish this very long and productive part of our masterclass, let's try to combine the past, present, and future in one short drill. This is a very important skill for conversational fluency. I am going to ask you 3 questions. I want you to take a moment to think about each one and then answer it out loud with details. Are you ready? Question 1. What are you planning to do tomorrow? Question 2. What did you do last weekend? Question 3. What do you like to do in your free time and why do you enjoy it? Take your time and answer each question with a full, detailed sentence. This kind of practice is so valuable because it helps you switch easily between different tenses, which is a key skill at the intermediate level. You are doing an amazing job. Let's take a short pause, and then we will continue to build even more skills. Welcome back. I hope you had a good short break. Before we continue, I just want to say that you are doing incredibly well. This is a long and intensive practice session, and your focus and dedication are truly impressive. We are now going to move into another important topic for daily conversations: family and relationships. This is something people often talk about when they want to get to know each other on a deeper, more personal level. At the beginner level, you might only say, I have one brother, or I have 2 sisters. This is fine, but it is very factual and short. At the intermediate level, we can expand our answers to add small details that bring our family to life for the listener. For example, if someone asks you, do you have any brothers or sisters? You can say something much more descriptive like, yes, I have one younger brother. His name is Daniel, and he's still in high school. He absolutely loves playing basketball, so most of the time he's out on the court with his friends. Do you see how this answer paints a picture? We learn his name, his age, and his passion. It makes Daniel feel like a real person. Now, let's practice this sentence together. Repeat after me, slowly. Yes, I have one younger brother named Daniel. He's still in high school, and he loves playing basketball. So, most of the time he's out on the court with his friends. Excellent. Now let's say it again with a warm, friendly tone. Yes, I have one younger brother named Daniel. He's still in high school and he loves playing basketball, so most of the time he's out on the court with his friends. Here is another example, perhaps if you have older siblings. I have two older sisters, Amanda and Emily. Amanda is married now and lives in Chicago, while Emily is finishing her college degree in New York, so we're all in different cities. This is a great answer that explains your family situation clearly. Let's practice it. Repeat with me. I have two older sisters, Amanda and Emily. Amanda is married and lives in Chicago, while Emily is finishing her college degree in New York. One more time, smoothly. I have two older sisters, Amanda and Emily. Amanda is married and lives in Chicago, while Emily is finishing her college degree in New York. Very good. Now it is your turn. I want you to think about your own family. You can talk about a brother, a sister, a parent, or even a cousin. Choose one family member and try to describe them with a little bit of detail. You can say what they do, what they like, or where they live. Speak your sentence out loud now. Juan. Perfect. That is exactly how you make your answers longer, more personal, and more fluent. Let's make this more interactive with a role play. Imagine I ask you, can you tell me a little bit about your family? Try to answer with 2 or 3 sentences, not just one. You could include their names, jobs, hobbies, or something interesting about your relationship with them. Are you ready? Here we go. Or, can you tell me a little bit about your family? So, right. Excellent. That was a wonderful, detailed answer. Let's try it again, just for practice. Pressé. Can you tell me about your family? So wonderful. That is how you prepare yourself for real, meaningful conversations. Now, let's move to another common topic, our daily routines. At the intermediate level, you should not only describe what you do, but also add details about when, how, and why. You can also add feelings and sometimes make comparisons. For example, instead of saying, I wake up and go to work, you could describe your weekday routine like this. On weekdays, I usually wake up around 7 a.m. The first thing I do is make some coffee and check my emails before I start work. I try to exercise in the evenings, but to be honest, sometimes I'm just too tired after a long day. This answer feels very real and relatable. It uses usually and sometimes to describe frequency. Let's practice it. Repeat with me. On weekdays, I usually wake up around 7 a.m. to make some coffee and check my emails before work. I try to exercise in the evenings, but sometimes I'm too tired after a long day. Again, naturally. On weekdays, I usually wake up around 7 a.m. to make some coffee and check my emails before work. I try to exercise in the evenings, but sometimes I'm too tired after a long day. Here is another version, focusing on a positive morning habit. Every morning, I like to go for a short walk before breakfast because it helps me wake up properly and start the day with positive energy. This is a great sentence because it explains the reason behind the action. Let's practice. Repeat with me. Every morning, I like to go for a short walk before breakfast because it helps me wake up and start the day with energy. Again. Every morning, I like to go for a short walk before breakfast because it helps me wake up and start the day with energy. Excellent! Now, think about your own daily routine. Try to describe one part of your day with some details. For example, in the morning, I usually eat bread and eggs for breakfast, and I always drink a cup of tea before I leave for work. Say your version out loud now. Very nice. Let's practice with names to make it feel more real and conversational. Imagine you are talking with a friend named Noah, and he asks, "What's your typical day like?" You could give him a summary of your day. "Well, Noah, on a typical day, I start work around 9 a.m. During my lunch break, I usually just grab a quick sandwich at a cafe near the office. Then, in the evenings, I like to watch a show on Netflix or read a little before going to bed around 11 p.m. Let's practice this conversational answer. Repeat with me. Well, Noah, on a typical day, I start work around 9 a.m. During my lunch break, I usually grab a sandwich at a cafe near the office. In the evenings, I watch a show or read a little before going to bed around 11. One more time. Well, Michael, on a typical day, I start work around 9 a.m. During my lunch break, I usually grab a sandwich at a cafe near the office. In the evenings, I watch a show or read a little before going to bed around 11. Great! This kind of answer feels specific, real, and very natural. Now, let's practice describing your city or your town. This is another important topic at the intermediate level because people are often curious about where we live. Instead of just saying, "I live in Bangkok" or "I live in Rome," you can add more detail to paint a picture for the listener. For example, I live in Dallas, Texas. It's a large, modern city with a lot of interesting history and culture. One of my favorite places to visit is the art museum downtown, and I also enjoy going to the local farmers market on the weekends to buy fresh vegetables. Let's practice this detailed description. Repeat with me. I live in Dallas, Texas. It's a large city with a lot of history and culture. One of my favorite places to visit is the art museum downtown. And I also enjoy going to the local farmers market on weekends. Again, smoothly. I live in Dallas, Texas. It's a large city with a lot of history and culture. One of my favorite places to visit is the art museum downtown, and I also enjoy going to the local farmers market on weekends. Here is another version, this time for a smaller place. I live in a small town just outside of Denver. It's very quiet and the people are really friendly, so everyone knows each other well. What I like most is that we have beautiful mountains nearby, so I often go hiking on the weekends. Let's practice. Repeat after me. I live in a small town outside of Denver. It's quiet and people know each other well. I like that we have beautiful mountains nearby, so I often go hiking on weekends. Very good. Now it is your turn. Think about your own city or town. Try to describe it in 1 or 2 sentences with some details. Talk about what is interesting, what you like about it, or what people usually do there for fun. Say it out loud now. Excellent. Let's make this interactive with another role play. Imagine you meet a new friend, Chloe, and she asks you, "Where do you live?" I want you to answer her now with a full, detailed sentence. Are you ready? So, where do you live? Great. Let's try it one more time. Imagine you're really proud of your city. Where do you live? Perfect. By practicing with names, adding details, and expressing your feelings, your English will sound so much more natural and engaging. You're doing a fantastic job. Let's continue with another topic that everyone loves: food and eating habits. Everyone enjoys talking about food, and it is a wonderful way to practice your English because you can describe tastes, experiences, and your personal preferences. At the beginner level, you might only say, "I like pizza," or "I eat rice." This is correct, but it is too short and simple. At the intermediate level, you should expand your answers and give interesting details. For example, instead of "I like pizza," you could say, "I really enjoy eating pizza, especially the kind with lots of cheese and mushrooms. I usually eat it with my friends on weekends, and it's a food that always makes me happy." Repeat this sentence with me. I really enjoy pizza, especially with cheese and mushrooms. I usually eat it with friends on weekends, and it always makes me happy. Again, a little faster and with more passion. I really enjoy pizza, especially with cheese and mushrooms. I usually eat it with friends on weekends, and it always makes me happy. Great. Here is another example. Instead of "I eat rice," you could say, "I often eat rice with fresh vegetables for lunch because it's a very healthy meal and it gives me a lot of energy for the rest of the afternoon." Repeat after me. I often eat rice with vegetables for lunch because it's healthy and gives me energy for the afternoon. One more time. I often eat rice with vegetables for lunch because it's healthy and gives me energy for the afternoon. Excellent. Now it's your turn. I want you to think about one food that you really like. Try to say one full sentence about why you like it or when you usually eat it. Speak your sentence out loud now. Very good. Let's make this more interactive with a role play. Imagine I ask you, "What's your favorite food?" I don't want you to just answer with one word. Try to use 2 or 3 sentences to explain. For example, you could say, "My favorite food is definitely sushi. I love the fresh taste of the fish, and I usually eat it when I go out for a special dinner with my friends. It can be a little expensive, but I think it's totally worth it." Now it's your turn to answer. Are you ready? 1. What's your favorite food? Excellent answer. Let's try it again. I want to hear your passion for this food. What's your favorite food? Oh, wonderful. Now, let's talk about cooking. If someone asks you, "Do you like cooking?" a beginner might just say yes or no. At the intermediate level, you can expand on your answer. For example, "Yes, I actually like cooking a lot. I often cook simple pasta dishes with vegetables and chicken, and I really enjoy trying new recipes that I find on the internet." Let's practice this. Repeat with me. Yes, I like cooking. I often cook pasta with vegetables and chicken, and I enjoy trying new recipes from the internet. Again, yes, I like cooking. I often cook pasta with vegetables and chicken, and I enjoy trying new recipes from the internet. Excellent. Here is an example of a negative answer. No, I don't really enjoy cooking because I find that I don't have much time for it, but I love eating the food that my mother makes, especially her delicious chicken soup. Repeat with me. No, I don't really enjoy cooking because I don't have much time, but I like eating food that my mother makes, especially her soup. Again. No, I don't really enjoy cooking because I don't have much time, but I like eating food that my mother makes, especially her soup. Perfect. Now, think about yourself. Do you like cooking? Why or why not? Try to answer with at least one detail. Say your answer out loud now. Swerzat us. Good job. Let's move to another exciting topic, traveling. People love to talk about the places they have visited or the places they would like to visit in the future. At the beginner level, you might only say, "I went to London," or "I want to go to Paris." But at the intermediate level, you should add details to tell a story. For example, "Last year, I visited London with my family. We saw all the famous sights, like Big Ben we walked along the beautiful River Thames and we tried some delicious traditional fish and chips. Repeat after me. Last year, I visited London with my family. We saw Big Ben, walked by the River Thames, and tried some delicious fish and chips. Again. Last year, I visited London with my family. We saw Big Ben, walked by the River Thames, and tried some delicious fish and chips. Excellent. Here is an example about a dream destination. I'd really love to visit Japan one day because I'm fascinated by Japanese culture, the amazing food, and the beautiful traditional temples. Repeat with me. I'd really like to visit Japan one day because I love Japanese culture, the food, and the traditional temples. Again. I'd really like to visit Japan one day because I love Japanese culture, the food, and the traditional temples. Very nice. Now it's your turn. Think about one place you have visited or one place you really want to visit. Try to make a sentence with details about what you did or what you want to do there. Say it out loud now. Sounds. What? Wonderful. Let's practice this with a role play. Imagine I ask you, have you ever traveled abroad? You can answer with yes and give details or with no and talk about a future wish. For example, yes, I have. I traveled to Thailand last year for a holiday, and I absolutely loved the stunning beaches and the friendly people. Or, no, I haven't traveled abroad yet, but I really want to go to Canada someday because I'd like to see the Rocky Mountains and the snow. Now it's your turn to answer my question. Ready? Have you ever traveled abroad? Great answer. Let's try it one more time. Have you ever traveled abroad? Excellent. Now, let's do a quick fluency drill to practice everything from this section. I will give you prompts and you expand them into full sentences. Prompt 1, breakfast. You could say, for breakfast, I usually just eat some toast with jam and drink a cup of tea. But on the weekends, I like to make a special breakfast like pancakes. Prompt 2, travel dream. You could say, I dream of visiting Italy one day because I want to see the ancient city of Rome, the canals of Venice, and of course, taste the authentic pasta and pizza. Prompt 3, cooking. You could say, I don't cook every single day. But when I do have the time, I like to make simple and healthy meals, like fried rice with a lot of vegetables. Excellent. Before we finish this part, let's connect all of these topics together. Imagine you are having a nice, long conversation with a new friend. They ask you 3 questions. What's your favorite food? Do you like to cook? And where would you like to travel in the future? I want you to try to answer each of these questions with details. Speak your answers out loud, just like you would in a real conversation. This is amazing practice because it helps you connect different topics together and sound very natural when you talk. You are building real conversational skills. Keep up the fantastic work. Now let's move on. Congratulations on making it this far. You've been practicing for a long time, and you're building incredible fluency muscles. You have completed this intensive fluency practice journey. Step by step, conversation by conversation, you have learned how to expand your short answers, how to give meaningful details, and how to connect your ideas into flowing sentences. Please remember, fluency is never about speaking very fast. Real fluency is about speaking clearly, smoothly, and most importantly, with confidence. Keep practicing every single day. The key to success is consistency. Come back to this masterclass. Repeat the sentences out loud. Do the role plays with me. Try to make your own examples based on your own life and your own experiences. The more you practice, the more you speak, the more natural and automatic your English will become. You are on the right path, and I am so proud of the effort you have put in today. Keep going, and you will achieve your dream of becoming a fluent English speaker. I truly hope this long, detailed lesson has helped you feel more confident and capable in your English speaking skills. And I want to sincerely thank you for spending this time with me today. Your presence here shows your powerful dedication and your strong commitment to improving your English step by step. Before we finish for today, I have one small request. If you found this masterclass helpful, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Best English Podcast. And be sure to press the bell icon next to the subscribe button. That way, you will be notified every time we upload a new lesson, and you will never miss an opportunity to grow your fluency. We upload new English learning videos regularly, and each one is carefully designed to help you practice your skills in a way that feels real, natural, and effective. So, my final words to you today are these. Keep practicing, stay positive, and always believe in yourself and in your ability to learn and grow. You are on your way to becoming a confident, fluent, and capable English speaker. Thank you once again for joining me today. I'm Sophia, and I will see you in our next lesson very soon. Goodbye for now.